Welcome again to the Bodhicharyavatara, 8th chapter, stanza number 5. Beings brief, ephemeral, who strongly cling to what is also transient, will catch no glimpse of those they love for many thousands of their future lives. Not seeing them, their minds will have no joy. They therefore will not rest in equanimity. But even if they see them, they are not content. And as before, the pain of longing stays. So these two stanzas, the Tibetan is muto sihi muto la yongda chapar shepa yu. Tine tserap tongcha de duban tonga yung munjir. Mantong na gar munjir yeju nyangju munjir la tong yung ngambar munjir we ngayin sepi donganjir. So if you look a little bit clearly and deeply, all of us are very impermanent and changing all the time. And we never know how long we will last. So we are very, very impermanent and uncertain. And then we get attached to other beings and other things that are equally impermanent, momentary, ephemeral, How can that be? Because, I'm changing all the time. And I'm so uncertain. And I'm sure to be, changed and disappeared. And then if I'm attached to something that is equally changing and momentary and impermanent, it's not possible to possess each other. It's not possible to hold on to each other. It's not possible to not be separated. So therefore, when you are getting attached to somebody or something, because you are also momentary and other beings and things are also, so it is bound to create pain and suffering and problem. Because the people that we are very, very attached to, we are sure to be separated. There is no other way. How long we can be together is the only question. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be after a few months, it could be after a few years. And then, once we are separated, we never know where they are, we never know who they are. We may never meet them again. Even if we meet them, we will not recognize them. So therefore, it could be thousands of years we don't see them. Or even if we see them, we don't know. So therefore, now, even for a short time, those who we are attached to, if we don't see them, even for a short time, even if we are not separated by death, but separated for a short while, even then we are not happy. We become unhappy because we are separated from the ones that I love and ones I am attached to. And while we are separated, even if for a short time, we cannot allow our mind to be in peace, to be economical, to be, we cannot relax our mind. We are always anguished, unhappy, wanting to see those who we love, whom we are attached to. And then again, when we see them, even if we met them again and we see them again, and we spend some time with them, however long we spend time with them, we are never satisfied. We can never say that, I spent enough time with this, so then when we apart again, then now I have no problem because we spent lots of time together, days or weeks or months or even years, nothing like that. So therefore, when we separate, again, even if we were together for a long time, as soon as we separate, we have the same pain of separation. And even we are together, we have the suffering of, worries and anxieties that we may be separated, that there's something will happen to the people or things that I'm attached to. So therefore, there is never, the more I'm attached to something or someone, I'm always, I always have, it creates pain, it creates problem, it creates anguish and worries. There was a Lama in Tibet, and he was a very good Lama. So, he lived in the cave, and he had lots of, students and devotees, and they offered him the food and drink and many different things, many different things. And so every 3 years, he distributed everything that he had. He didn't keep anything for himself. He distributed everything that was, offered to him, and he kind of accumulated, except a small statue of Buddha, a very precious statue made of copper and gilded with gold. And he valued it very much because it was given to him by his teacher, by his Lama. So he was, he really valued it, so he always kept it with him. He didn't give it to anybody. One time, some of his devotees got sick and asked him to come and to help, to make prayers and practices for him. So he went down, and it was a little far, so he couldn't come back the same night. So he had to stay in their house. So when he was there, he thought, he thought about his small Buddha image. He thought, he got a little worried that maybe somebody comes to his cave and would take away, steal his precious Buddha statue. So he didn't get very good sleep because he was worried about that. So then, next day when he came up to the cave, he took that Buddha statue and gave it to somebody. And they said, why are you doing this? Because, you always kept this Buddha statue and you valued it very much, and because it was given to you by your teacher. He said, yes, it's true, but I'm attached to it. And last night when I was outside in that family's house, I didn't get very good sleep because I was worried that my Buddha statue may be stolen. So if I'm attached to the Buddha statue, or am I attached to lots of other positions or whatever, it's the same thing. And it gives my mind not peace, but worries and anxiety. So it's better that I give it away. Of course, it's not necessarily the things, but your attachment. How strongly attached you are, that much pain, that much disturbance of your mind, that much worries you have. So therefore, even if we have nothing, even if we have something very small, even if we have nothing of our own, but attached to something that we want to have, same thing. So therefore, the attachment gives disturbance to your mind. And to understand that is very important. And so therefore, if we really want to meditate properly at that time, or as much as possible, we should allow our mind to become free from attachment, free from clinging, free from grasping. The more we can do that, the more our mind will be in peace, and more, the shamatha meditation, or any meditation, happens more quickly. Then if I crave for other beings, our veil is cast upon the perfect truth. Wholesome delusion melts away, and finally there comes the sting of pain. My thoughts are all for them, and thus my life is frittered by. My family and friends all change and pass, for whom the changeless Dharma is cast out. So these two stanzas, 7 and 8, if we are if we are attached to the beings, it doesn't matter beings or things, if we are too much attached, that will make us, because then our mind is always clinging or grasping or, only thinking or concerned about things that we are attached to. So therefore, we cannot see the truth, see the true nature. We cannot. It veils us. It obstructs us from seeing the truth, seeing the true nature of things. And suicide jeopardies. And then because of that, because we are attached to things or attached to beings, if we had some sense of renunciation, sense of understanding that I want to, I'm kind of, I do not want to remain in this samsaric state of mind. And so therefore I want to free myself from all the negative emotions and habitual tendencies, and therefore I want to liberate myself. That sense of renunciation is also finished, is gone, is destroyed by my attachment. And tamanyange donganjir. And therefore, eventually, when I lose those people and those things that I am attached to, and that will necessarily happen. Either I die, then I lose everybody, everything and everybody, or those people die, or those people go away, or those things I lose, then I will be in misery, in suffering, in pain. And and when I lose something or some being, like my, whoever that I am too much attached to, I could lose meaning of the whole life. I could be, unhappy or worrying or being sad or being, completely missing that person or those things that I lose all my life. And I could actually become totally unconsolably, sad and devastated. And because of that, I would not be able to do anything truly worthwhile and helpful and useful for myself and others, and also enjoy my life of whole life. Many times it happens, Sometimes people, I've seen lots of people who lose like their children, sometimes their, loved ones, lovers or husbands or wives or, whoever they may be. And the whole life, they can't find happiness. They always think about that, always feel so sad and so bad, and So therefore, because of that loss, I could make my life meaningless. So therefore, tapa me pin zakichi yundu chu chunji pranju. Because of my too much attachment to my very near and dear ones that are completely impermanent, because of that, because I lose something totally impermanent, I could actually destroy or I could lose my practice of Dhamma, which is, which could give me a kind of lasting peace and happiness. This is something very important to understand. This is the, I think, Very important to understand and remind ourselves again and again. So I think I stop here. Thank you.